Yes, welcome into the Washington Commanders post-game show. Charlotte McBride, I'm Darren Haynes. Man, the music just stopped. We should have kept that music going because you know what? The Commanders continue to keep rolling after that 23-10 win over the Houston Texans. Boy, they stink. I'm just putting that out there.
I will admit, you know, early on in this game, I said to you, I don't know if the Commanders are just that good or the Houston Texans are just that bad. There were moments where I felt like, wow, the Texans can just not do anything. But the Commanders looked good. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. Taylor Heinecke, starting quarterback. They looked good. And the defense, whew, we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That was ugly. I mean, overall, though, I mean, the first half they started off the way you would want your Washington Commanders to start off. I mean, at one point, they had, I think it was like maybe with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter, the Texans had like -5 yards of total offense. And that's what you will want out of your defense. And like Charlotte said, we'll talk about that later. You, the fans, as always, I have my big, bulky laptop right here. And Brielle's in the DJ booth in the back. That's actually where the director is. She's going to give me all your comments. I'm going to give you a shout-out to read your comments because I know you guys are excited about another Commanders win. Listen, they're creeping closer to this, like, wild card spot. You were talking about possibly them winning the division.
I know. You know me. I try to be, you know.
Keep hope alive.
Hopeful Holly over here. But I want to mention something, though, that you talked about. You said in the second quarter what the Texans had, like, negative yards. I saw a hysterical tweet about that saying the hardest job in America right now is the guy who has to put together the first half highlights on the Jumbotron for the Texans. Oh. Because there weren't many.
Maybe they didn't show highlights. Maybe they showed, like, commercials with like
a lot of commercials.
Like doesn't JJ
you know, it was
Watt
a highlight
still do
that
the
guy
HEB
right there,
commercials?
Jerron Payne.
Yeah, doesn't JJ Watt still do the HEB commercials?
There
Maybe they
you
just
go.
throw him up there or like a Papados commercial. What else is out there?
Yeah.
Papacitos, is that's out there?
There's a lot of good restaurants.
You're from Texas? No,
the food is good. The football is not.
Oh, okay. Well, they used to be good. But a lot to break down in this particular game. Also, we have an emotional moment from quarterback Taylor Heinecke. We're going to show you why he got emotional today. A lot of good stuff. We also have a suited or booted you do not want to miss, like an extended version. Charlotte has no clue what's coming up. She has not seen any of the pictures.
I'll see it for the first time when you guys see it.
At all. All right, so first of all, let's get to the game. So we mentioned the first half. They had that great first half. I'm looking at some of the yardage. I mean, it was 246 total yards for Washington, 5 yards for the Texans, and then the second half. I don't think it was that bad, but they could have been a lot better.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Ron Rivera was touching on after the game, and I think everyone kind of agreed on is, yes, they got to win. A win's a win. That's great. But he feels like there's a lot of room for improvement, which, again, it's a good thing. You know, if you can still make improvements at this stage in the game.
I feel like we just put the cap on ourselves a lot of the times. Again, today I feel like we left a lot of points out there as an offense. Defense played great. Special teams played great. So I feel like if we just put all facets of the game together, you know, it'll be hard to beat us. But again, we have a lot of work to do, and you know, we'll get back to it tomorrow.
I mean, I thought we came out in the first half and did the things that we were supposed to, you know, to give us a chance to take the lead, and then we were able to, you know, hold them out. You know, and it's one of those things that I do feel we could have played better in the second half. We should have played better. But credit to Houston. They didn't lay down and roll over. They kept fighting, and, you know, they scored some points.
All right, and probably the biggest moment of today happened post-game when Ron Rivera made it loud and clear that Taylor Heinecke is the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders moving forward. And he said he had a conversation with Carson Wentz. He said it was a good conversation, but it's now Heinecke. He's QB1.
He worked a long time for this. You know, the guy who was taking grad school classes at Old Dominion, he was sleeping on his sister's couch. I mean, you even went down to Atlanta to do a story with him and his trainer down there to kind of get an idea of what kind of work he put in to become the quarterback he is now. A lot of people hated on him. He made a great first impression in that playoff game against Tampa Bay in 2020. But he has been an amazing comeback. I mean, an amazing comeback story. He's currently living that. And also help this Washington Commanders team come back in regards to wins, because with Carson Wentz, they weren't winning that many games. And you can see why Taylor Heinecke got emotional when talking about him being the starter moving forward.
That means a lot. You know, I've worked so hard for this opportunity, and you know, it's a dream come true. So, And every week I just approach it like it's my last week playing and try to have fun with it. So again, we just won 5 out of the last 6. Guys are rolling, guys are confident. It's a really fun time to be in that locker room right now.
A bit emotional for you.
Yeah, it's again, I've been dreaming about this my whole life. So just kind of see it come full circle with the last 2-3 years, kind of what I've been through. It's a blessing. So again, I just want to keep working hard and keep this thing rolling.
Wow.
He wasn't a first-round pick. He wasn't a guy that was expected to make a career out of playing in the NFL. As you said, it wasn't working out for him. So he went back to school, and he thought, maybe I'll be a math teacher one day. And then he gets the call, and he's going to be a backup. And then we obviously all know what he did against Tampa Bay, and of course diving for that pylon in that playoff game 2 years ago. And now where he is, and outright, he is the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. You can see how that would be an emotional moment. We've seen him get emotional throughout several big moments. Last year in Atlanta, getting to start there and play, and his whole family was there as well. In different moments, he's been emotional, but he's an emotional player in general. And all the guys in the locker room always tell us that. They love how he gets hyped, how he gets amped, how he is just up for every game, and how he never gives up either. And I think that's a big thing, that they do rally around him. And again, they didn't look so great the first part of this season. And now they've won 5 of 6. Taylor Heinecke starting quarterback, and we will see what happens moving forward. But
I got some good news.
Okay.
This is breaking news, you guys. Breaking news.
Okay.
So you know how Taylor Heinecke purchases a pair of Air Jordans after every win?
Yes.
Taylor Heinecke just posted on Instagram. I don't know if we can zoom in here. I don't know if I move close. It'd probably be out of focus. But here are the Jordans. Can you see them? Sort of.
See the color. Ooh.
Yeah, look at those bad boys.
Look at that.
Imagine if I got a text from my mom.
They look a
that
little
went
brighter
down.
blue. The Texans
I'll
are
bring it to you.
the Texans are navy and kind of red and. Oh, okay. So yeah, they got the blue, and then they have a little bit of red there. We'll post it on social media. I'm sure you'll see it everywhere, but he has already picked it out. Now, I got to think that maybe he was looking ahead of time. Maybe he was looking ahead of time.
Probably so, in his downtime.
Yeah.
What kind of
He's
Jordans
getting a
am I
lot of
gonna buy?
shoes. He told us that this week that when he first came to the NFL, that all the guys were making fun of him. They said he didn't have good shoe game. He had 2 pairs of shoes. He had a pair of Converse. He had a pair of Vans. And the guys were like, come on, you got to get better at this. So then that's when he fell in love with Jordan. So he bought a few Jordans here and there. Well, then he started the tradition of, hey, when I win an NFL game as a starting quarterback, I'm going to buy a pair of Jordans. He's got more than 30 pairs.
Well, if you think about it, here's the crazy thing about it. Let's think of the quarterbacks that Ron Rivera's had. I may not be able to name them all.
There's a lot.
But there's Garrett Gilbert, there's Dwayne Haskins, there's Alex
Allen.
Smith, Kyle Allen, Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Yep.
Carson Wentz.
Yep. Heineke.
Let's save Heineke for a second. There's probably more, but out of all those quarterbacks, Taylor Heineke is the winningest quarterback under Ron Rivera here in Washington.
And getting paid a lot less than some of those other guys that they signed throughout
It's a contract year for him, too. His contract ends.
It is.
Cha-ching, Taylor Heineke.
Even if he is signed as a backup quarterback, he's going to be making at least double.
Yeah, they have to keep him around. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Speaking of keeping around, there's a guy named Deron Payne. This is a contract year for him. You want to keep him around.
Yes.
Montez Sweat, we know he's going to be around. Jonathan Allen. These are all defensive guys that are here with the Washington Commanders right now. And whoo!
That defensive front is looking incredible.
5 sacks.
5 sacks.
Your boy Sweat had 2.
He had 2.5, baby. Yeah. 2 sacks.
I like how you put it.
There you go.
2.5.
Deron Payne right there. And yeah, it's a contract year for him. I spoke with him during training camp about this. And obviously he said he is thinking about that. He knows that he needs to go into this season and play some of the best football that he's ever played. He needs to get their attention. He needs to get that big deal that they all want. I think he's going to get that big deal. Some are saying $20 million a year.
I don't know. Oh, I don't.
I've seen that online, but I don't know if it's that high. I might give him like 13.
I'm really nervous on if they're going to keep Deron Payne around. I'm going to be honest.
Ooh.
I'm going to be honest. I want him to stick around,
Because
but I'm
that
going to be very
front
nervous.
you got to keep them all together because they right now are unstoppable.
You'll love to keep everybody together,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, there's a salary cap. Other teams have more money that they can spend on a particular player, and that's where things kind of get difficult. But
maybe dump wins.
But
Sign around.
yeah, but overall, the defensive play today held it down again for another week for the Washington Commanders. Like I mentioned before, they had the 5 sacks. Let's not forget, it was the defense that scored first in this game. Kendall Fuller, local guy, getting the pick 6 that put the Commanders up 7-0. So the defense is the foundation to this Washington Commanders
Absolutely.
team. They say defense wins championships. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not talking about it yet, but I'm just putting that out in the atmosphere. And when you listen to Montez Sweat and also Derek Forrest, who he also had an interception.
Yeah,
Like,
he's been doing great. He's been
correct.
racking up those interceptions this season.
Listen to Montez Sweat when he was asked about like that mindset when he's taking on a particular team.
Choke them out. We just wanted to be real efficient. Give Taylor a chance to put some points on the board and just take those explosives away and get on the quarterback.
I feel like it's definitely boosting our potential, our momentum, and then it's coming out as confidence. We're coming out here, we're playing way more confident. We're playing together, we're playing as a team. Offense, defense, and special teams, man. So it's just boosting our confidence for sure.
So
Yeah.
So now the defense is playing well. The offense we mentioned, they're okay. The Atlanta Falcons, they kind of had a decent game today. That's who they're going to have next. So so hopefully we'll have our predictions in that in a little bit. Make sure you comment on our Facebook page so we can read them out. What's your prediction in regards to their next matchup? Now
They're hot right now.
Oh, but 5 out of
They're
their
hot
last
right
6.
now.
I mean,
and it's crazy hearing the broadcast team of the national broadcast talk about that and say, wow, the Commanders are a hot team right now. If you would have asked me in week 3 if someone would have said that.
the only thing hot would have been Ron Rivera's seat because he was on the hot seat. That's the only thing that would have been hot.
That's why you play a full season.
Man, I'm just looking at the playoff standings and I'm like,
it's all over the place right now. We're mid-November right now.
So right now, and of course, there's games being played, but they're sitting 8th. They 7th, the 49ers. They play the 49ers.
They do, Christmas Eve.
6th are the Dallas Cowboys. They play them, of course. They also have the Giants, that's 5th. All these teams they play, so there's a lot of...
So they can control their own destiny.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Which blows my mind because
Yeah.
week 3, like you mentioned, we needed... People were saying head coach Ron Rivera should be fired.
There's so much happening.
All right.
Wow, yeah, crazy things can happen. And I think, we watch the game for the game, but
Correct.
there's always stuff going on outside of the game. And I'm not talking about Dan Snyder this time around. Right. Something that the Commanders did, which was really special and very meaningful today, was honor those 3 victims of the UVA shooting, Lavelle Davis Jr., Devin Chandler, and Deshaun Perry. They did that by putting their numbers on their helmets. Of course, Ron Rivera also wearing a Virginia shirt on the sidelines there, and Logan Thomas wearing a Virginia shirt. Now, you guys know he was the quarterback at Virginia Tech. Their big rival. But, this week it's not about the rivalries. It's just about everyone being one big football community. Of course, Virginia Tech and Virginia, they are playing each other this week. It will be Virginia's first game since losing those 3 football players tragically to a shooting just last Sunday.
Yeah, what's so sad about it? I mean, I love how it's bringing everybody together to remember them. But you played sporting events before, and you have your teammates, and yes, they're not related to you, but when you practice with them, when you have games with them, they become family to you. Your coaches, they're almost like father figures in a way.
Absolutely.
And so this Virginia family losing, 3 of their teammates, their brothers, that hurts a lot because you form that bond with them. We heard how Derek Forrest was just mentioning like, hey, we're like a family, we bond together and stuff like that. Like that's the same thing for these Virginia players. So it's sad to see their brothers tragically lost in that particular way.
And last night they had a vigil last night on UVA's campus. It was the first time we heard from the football players and coaches, and they all called them brothers. All of them came up there and said, we lost brothers. We see how much time these guys spend together at camps and practices and games, and they become like a family, especially, you guys remember at home when you went away to college and you weren't around your own family and you weren't around your parents, you weren't around your own siblings. Who was your family? It's your teammates. So it's a tough time for UVA, but really, really nice to see the Commanders honor those 3 players on their helmets.
Absolutely. So that's what like you mentioned, Logan Thomas and Ron Rivera were wearing before the game, and that's going to transition us to what some of the other players were wearing before the game.
A little lighthearted.
A little lighthearted, and of course, you want to talk about it like you always do?
Ooh, suit it or boot it. You know what?
You
see them in their jerseys and their uniforms all day long, and they know that that's how you see them too. So they know they have one moment each week where they're going to step out. There's going to be photographers there, and everyone is going to get to see what they are wearing as they arrive for the game or as they board a flight, in this case, to the game.
So-
Many of them have personal stylists that help them
So,
for this
so
moment.
we were in the locker room earlier this week, and Charlotte went to Deron Payne in the locker, and Charlotte was like, "Hey, you should buy this outfit and wear this for the game." And so Deron Payne, what he's wearing right now, Charlotte McBride picked this out. This is all you. She picked this out. Great job,
I'll
Charlotte.
take credit, for the shoes, for the swaggy bag. Yeah.
So
there we go.
Charlotte didn't really pick this out. I'm just putting the blame on her, though. Are you suiting this or booting this?
I'm suiting it. It looks very stylish. If I saw him walking around like that, that's very stylish. I do like the shoes.
All right, so I'm gonna be the hater. I'm gonna boot it.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's just so much. Like if we go to a full picture again, Lauren, it just feels like there's just so much stuff going on there. Meaning like.
Yeah, you don't like it when there's too many things.
Yeah, like it's just too much. You have the black and white Scully, then you have almost the black jacket, but then you're bringing in the navy view.
I don't like the navy.
Blue.
Yeah, that's weird.
I just don't know. The shoes I kind of like though. I may be able to rock those. I
those are
see
cool.
what Deron Payne's talking about there. All right, here's another one. We were just talking about your boy Taylor Heinecke. He's usually wearing a suit. Today he's in this this chill, relaxed swaggy look.
Yeah.
Which he didn't have, I guess.
He's one of the ones that has a stylist. He has someone that.
He does have a stylist now.
Yeah. I don't know if she's called a stylist, but I know who she is. Yeah, she, shops for him, buys some stuff, picks out some outfits.
I call that my mom.
What?
I'm joking. She shops and buys clothes, but go ahead.
But so I know he has someone that maybe she just shops for him, and usually they bring out some selections and he kind of picks some stuff out, and you gotta get your game strong. But I think today maybe she was on vacay, and he just thought, I'm just gonna be casual. Don't worry about it.
Be like
Keep the suit
Montez
at
Sweat
home.
last week, where he just woke
Full on
up and he's
flight.
just wearing sweats to go to the game. Remember that?
I think sometimes when they just want to travel, maybe you just want comfort.
All right, so we're gonna leave Washington for a second.
Okay.
We're going up north. We're going to Baltimore.
Okay.
Here's our next suitor to boot it, and we're looking at Brandon Stevens
It's a lot of denim.
for the Baltimore Ravens. Wait, did we suit or boot Taylor Heinecke?
I'm like indifferent.
I'm suiting. He's relaxed. He's chilling.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm booting this. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna skip right ahead of the line on you on this one. Like I'm booting this one out the door. I don't know if like his grandma or my grandma
That's too much denim.
Got
Too
it,
much
no,
denim.
sew
And the
that
patchwork
together.
and whatever that is. I've seen people wear it, seen the kiddos wear it, if you will. It's not for me.
It's not for anybody. It's just for him.
I can't. What's in his hand?
What is that?
Is that a little bag? Is that a little mini clutch? I have more questions.
Wait.
All right. Sure.
Okay. Listen. He could have walked out here in the best suit in the entire world. I'm booting it because of the clutch.
The mini clutch?
All right, we need to find out what that is.
I have a lot of questions. Okay. Awesome. Great.
Boot.
Well, sorry, kind sir. You
All
get a
right.
boot.
So, the Dallas Cowboys have a big game today.
Right.
I believe they're taking on the Minnesota Vikings. So this is your boy Micah Parsons before the game.
Whoa!
Listen.
Did he? So he stepped into Vikings territory wearing the Vikings
He
colors?
is straight Purple Rain.
Wow. He thought, Minnesota, here I come.
Look at he's blending in with the stadium.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons.
Is that a no-no? I don't think you wear the other team's
I think if
colors.
you're as good as Micah Parsons,
Well,
you can
yeah.
do what the heck you want to do.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure Charles Leno called him the best in the league. Yeah, and he is. He's one of the best in the league. He's incredible.
Listen, the Vikings, they give up some sacks. Be very afraid of the people eater.
Kirk Cousins, good luck.
All right, suited or booted?
No.
Really?
It's too much purple.
Too much for who?
For everyone.
All right. See, first of all, this. All right. As a former Division I player like myself, who used to ball out in the FCS. You know what I mean? Your boy used to ball out back in the day. If I was as good as Micah Parsons, and I knew that I was going to get after the quarterback, Kirk Cousins, and I know that I'm, dominating, I'm gonna rock the purple. I hand it to him. No, you come into enemy territory and you make a statement like, I'm not going to let this happen.
You know what?
And I'm
I
gonna
want
rock
him to
purple
do that.
like Prince in Minneapolis.
Okay, I like that. What I want him to do now, like if he dominates, which we think he will, and maybe puts Kirk down a few times, I think now every single game he needs to dress in full colors of the other team. Like how
Got it.
Taylor buys shoes.
Okay, so I'm
The other
assuming
team?
so when the Cowboys play the Commanders, it's going to be
Like,
Michael
I need him
Parsons
to be
rocking
wearing, like,
burgundy and
golden-
gold,
yeah.
and then after the Commanders beat them, Taylor Heinecke is going to rock the blue and white and silver. I
Yeah.
think is a little bit. All right, here's our next suitor to boot it. We're going to Cleveland. We
Okay.
are going to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Look, my man's looking like he just got out of first Sunday.
Yes.
White as
Amen.
snow. Amen.
Hey, I like it. I like it. It's sharp. It's very sharp. It's very stylish.
You don't sound convincing at all.
I like it. I'm trying to look at like the pants. I can't tell what I like. Yeah, I like it.
All right, listen, unless my man just like got married.
Maybe he went to church this morning and prayed about this thing.
Oh, don't see. Now you're gonna take my booted away. I was about to boot the guy until you talk about, oh, maybe he just came from church service. Lord, please forgive me. Boot it. Boot it. You booting, suiting, or booting?
I'll suit it. It's sharp. It fits well. The white. I like the top. Okay.
All right, raise your left hand if you like this suited or booted this week.
I liked it.
You raising your left hand? Left hand up. Who are we?
Oh, Commanders.
Roll that.
It was a hope and a wish.
We didn't know that the song would get that much attention.
Left hand up, who are we?
DJ O. Goody, a longtime Washington, D.C. DJ,
Back in the day, RFK was our palace.
and his nephew, rapper Big 57,
We on the rise, you know what I want, Super Bowl on my mind.
created a Washington Commanders anthem.
I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do my 2 verses, and when you get back, I'm gonna send it to you, then you can do your verse.
And during production, an accident changed everything.
When I was doing the hook, I'm like, Commanders, we fight for RDC, who are we? And then I was gonna repeat that, and I got stuck. And I just said, left hand up, who are we? I stick with that.
And that's what stuck in people's heads.
Left hand up, who are we? The Commanders.
The Commanders song has been viewed almost 2 million times. During Commander games, fans would sing the song in the streets.
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up, who are we? The Commanders. Commanders.
Fans even posted photos with their left hand up and even made t-shirts with the phrase.
Describe what the last week and a half has been like for you guys.
Woo, it's been amazing.
I got some buddies that I haven't even spoken to since graduating in 2015 hit me up like, yo, is this you? I'm like, yeah, that's me and my uncle.
And as the Commanders continued to win, the song received even more attention.
Yep, they're playing it.
When the Commanders played the Vikings, the song was played at FedEx Field.
We didn't know that win, lose, or draw, the song would get that much attention.
Can I spit some bars on it?
Oh, do you?
Definitely.
By all means.
Y'all trust me?
I
Yes.
trust you.
D. Hayes, bars on the track, suited, not booted, got on all black. You can find me at FedEx Field, one-on-one, you know the deal, keeping it real. Every interview got you wondering how we get in the crew, cause I'm one of them. Taylor Heinecke, my man, Scary Terry with the hands, yeah. We got Robert Bear drawing plays up, and wait till we get Chase Young, he a beast, better wake up, yeah. I got 11 Emmys, check my gram, that's set in the standard, raising the banner, left hand up, who are we? The Commanders!
People all around this area, and it's growing, are putting their left hand up, cheering for the team,
Right.
but that originated from you guys.
It's like being at the bottom of the division don't matter. We Commanders. You know, it's like
It's cemented. It's cemented. And to be at a game and people recognize us and notice who we are,
Oh, man.
and know the song word for
No,
word,
they was-
it's crazy.
Man, that's becoming a big thing.
Ooh, it is.
So I have a feeling I'm just gonna put this out in the atmosphere. I
Yeah.
feel like during this Atlanta game, we're gonna see them at FedEx Field doing something during the game. Like,
Players.
No, the two
Oh,
who
you mean-
came up with the
okay.
Commander song. I feel like I'm putting that out there. I don't know. I didn't check my sources.
It's catchy.
It is catchy.
I like it.
It is catchy, really
Yeah.
catchy.
Yeah.
What's
Great
also
job.
catching on is Taylor Heinecke using a lot of his money to purchase shoes. Because
So yeah, every time he wins as a starting quarterback, he gets a $125,000 bonus, and he has chosen to spend a small part of that on Air Jordans, the colors of the team that he just beat. Well, last week Showing appreciation to his offensive line as they beat the Eagles, he bought the entire O-line Jordans. And just been confirmed, this week he will be buying all of the tight ends Jordans.
And me? No, we don't get anything?
No, I didn't get any. I wonder if this keeps going, by the end of it, every guy in that locker room is going to have.
I mean,
he's just spreading the love.
so I'm just curious, if he purchases shoes for somebody, and maybe he says he's donating the shoes. I'm donating the shoes to my teammates. Can he write that off?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
There's a random voice in the background.
Yeah, I know what that is. It's just turned up loud.
All right, so let's get to some of these comments here. All right.
Okay.
The comments are really important.
Okay.
We appreciate you, the fans. Hey, continue to keep commenting, especially if you put in a comment right now. Our wonderful digital producer Brielle, she's in the back. She can text me some of those comments that you have, and we can answer some of your questions. So hit us up. All right. So our first one is from Therese Tompkins. Says, I actually like the purple, the Micah Parsons.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh, see?
Okay. All right.
Did you boot that?
It wasn't for me. It's just a lot of purple. I don't really like purple that much.
What's as a brother of Omega Psi
If it
Phi
was all
fraternity
red, I'd be like,
incorporated, what's
okay.
wrong with purple?
It's not my favorite color.
What's wrong with it?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it was a lot. It was loud in my face. Lots.
Okay. All right.
Remind me of an LSU game in a bad way.
Is that like an SEC?
It's hard for me to like colors of teams that are Georgia. It is. Yeah, it's deep rooted. Orange, oh, not so much.
All right, so our next comment is, I don't know, somebody named Teddy Adderley Haynes. I don't know who. Yeah, random person. Your native Estonian wife here. While I don't know what's going on with my city, they're definitely struggling. I can't read. Proud of the Commanders for keeping the amazing momentum. They've definitely made watching the burgundy and gold fun again. Hashtag, left hand up.
Woo!
But
yes!
hold on, but then it says go easy on my city.
What?
It says go easy on my.
Oh, yes. So
Charlotte,
yes.
I apologize. Lauren, can you take me ISO cam? Is that possible? Can you take me ISO?
Mm-hmm.
The Houston Texans stink, you guys. They only have one loss in the entire season. They're horrible. They're bad. They lost their quarterback. He's now in Cleveland. We do love their head coach, but he has a lot of work to do. You guys do have a couple draft picks. I think 2 in the first 10 picks.
Yeah.
Next season. But you have the Astros that are playing really well. You just ride that wave. Because right now, the only wave that y'all are getting from the Houston Texans is the wave that you may get in the kiddie pool. And there's not a lot of waves there. So I apologize for all the Houstonians that are out there. You're a Texas girl, but you're from Austin. But Houston stinks, and we saw that today because the Washington Commanders, they ran the ball all over them.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. There were times where we thought, that guy's going to get, no. That guy's going to, no. Yeah. Again, love the running game. Washington's really picking up their running game. Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson doing a great job the last few weeks. They've really come alive, and we're seeing a lot of great things from them, so not taking anything away from B-Rob and Antonio. But, yeah, that Houston defense didn't do a great job of stopping them.
So can we go to A31, Lauren, just real quick? I'm going to tell you why. Because we have another comment, and it says, actually, he's holding earphones that we thought was a clutch purse that we had a lot of questions about.
So, guys, I will tell everyone at home that my closest monitor is about 30 feet from me. So I'm trying to see. And from here, okay, I'll take your word on it that it's earphones.
Because I can see it.
Okay, he's going to walk over.
Yeah, I guess it was our earphones.
Okay, from my angle, 30 feet back, I guess, yeah.
It looks like a clutch purse.
Well, thank goodness for that. Pants are still a no-go. Shoes are great, but.
All right, let's close this out.
Okay, we'll close now.
Because we still have a show to put together.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? They're going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons at home at FedEx Field. Your boy Taylor Heinecke is the starting quarterback. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm going to say absolutely, no doubt, in my mind, Washington.
Wait, the music didn't even start yet.
I know, but I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I'm just going to say it.
Oh, there you go.
No doubt, Washington is winning next week again. They will beat the Atlanta Falcons Taylor's hometown team, even though we know he grew up a Green Bay Packers fan. He grew up right outside of Atlanta. I have a feeling he'll have a lot of family and friends coming up for that one. And I really think that the Commanders are going to continue this hot streak. They're starting to figure things out. They're figuring out their run game. He went to the tight ends more this game than he has the entire season. Logan Thomas had a season high. That's why he's buying them Jordans. And we're still seeing a lot of great things from Terry, and Curtis, of course, had a touchdown. So yeah, I think things are clicking, and I think that they're just going to roll this one right into next week. I think that they are going to beat Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm going to say like 32. I'm going to say there's going to be some points. I'm going to say like 32 to 17.
32 points. Okay. I'm not doubting you. I was like, okay.
They could have had 30 today. I mean, they could have if they wanted to.
Okay.
Oh no.
What?
I just feel like you had this look of okay.
What?
Like a not a good okay. I don't know.
What happened to the music?
We've been riding things high, and now it's a okay.
All right. Dear Lord, Heavenly Jesus, we're gathered here today to let you know that the Commanders are playing well, Lord. We know that many weeks ago, like Charlotte said during week 3, we wanted Coach fired, but you forgave him of his sin, and now all they do is win. And you know that you delivered a guy by the name of Taylor Heinecke to these Commanders, Lord Jesus, to allow us to play well, to win 5 out of their last 6 games, to now take on the Atlanta Falcons, who we know, like Charlotte said, he grew up in that Atlanta area, and he's taken on his hometown team. Despite that not being the team that he used to cheer for, it's going to be another W for the Washington Commanders.
Woohoo!
And we'll put them firmly in playoff position.
Playoffs.
Amen.
Who would have thunk it? Playoffs.
But I need a score.
It's a tough one. Playoffs.
17-14. A little bit tighter.
I like that.
I feel like they're always close.
It's going to be cold.
Unless they stink like the Houston Texans. Other than that, they play everybody else close.
Yeah.
FYI, I got a text saying there's no dinner tonight.
There's what?
There's no dinner tonight.
Oh, it's because you said bad things about
Yeah. I mean, they stink.
Texans.
I can cook.
Okay.
I know how to make ramen noodles.
You gonna starve.
Why did I just hear somebody in like the director's booth laugh?
You gonna starve.
All right. We appreciate it. This is a weird show. I appreciate you guys. 23-10. Commanders obviously picking up another win. We appreciate you guys like always. Continue to comment on our Facebook page. We're going to read them. We're going to comment back. Hit Charlotte up. Follow her on Twitter at Charlotte McBride. She's tweeting out some amazing stuff.
It's a shout out.
Follow me too on Instagram and Facebook and MySpace and Charlotte.
MySpace.
Charlotte has Black Planet. All right, we're out. Do you have Black Planet? Do you have a Black Planet page? I do. No Black.